Welcome back into the drive, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, kids of all ages, gather around your radio. Strap yourself in for the best smelling sports talk radio on the planet. I'm sorry?
Does that include the guest?
Well, of course it does. Sporting a stogie.
We've never had tobacco brought into the show before.
It's a prop.
Right. No, yeah. I'm trying on new personalities.
All right.
Okay.
Multiple
personalities out of Jeremy Henderson.
Well, hang on now. Hang on just a second here. There we go. Got to make it official.
I think Shug just had one personality, though, didn't he? A consistent personality.
Man, always the same.
Now for something
Like a
completely
rock.
different.
Lefty.
This is Shug Jordan, coach of the Auburn Tigers.
Say what? No.
It's pronounced
Jordan.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
This is Shug Jordan, football coach of the Auburn Tigers.
Shug was all things to all men.
He was he not? Welcome in, Jeremy. It's been 2 weeks since I've seen you.
I know. Where were you? Like, honestly.
Honestly?
We were theorizing last week.
Well,
Sound all weird up in here.
I don't think we've missed Rich at all, have we?
not a bit.
I think he just needs to stay in Jacksonville.
I was in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
And I was not missed, apparently. I'm just saying.
I didn't care where you were. No,
Henderson, let me ask you, did you miss him last Friday?
I mean,
Not really.
define Friday.
Divide Friday? Last day of the work week, his phone's going off.
During the show. Did you miss me during the show? That's
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, your presence was missed. Your expertise. I mean, Slick was back there, and God
doing
knows
a
what
great
Coleman
job.
was doing. I don't know what he was doing.
stats just kind of hanging around.
It was a very loose, kind of. I
need
didn't
that
even know
every-
if we were actually on the air.
You need that every once in a while. Well, can I tell you, that's a question that all radio people ask themselves frequently.
Right.
Are we really on the air?
Right. That
Or is-
light doesn't really mean anything.
No, not at all. It's all an elaborate hoax.
Henderson, I thought the show went well with
It's
that.
No, it
all
did.
an
I'm lying.
elaborate hoax.
I'm lying. No, it did. It did go well. I mean, that was my dad calling again.
Oh,
Probably did.
well, we got a call from Dad during the show.
Did you really?
He told Jeremy to focus.
No, yeah, we needed. To,
really?
we needed to tighten up. It wasn't just to me, Ron.
Oh, I thought it was all you.
No,
you didn't tell me that.
No, I mean, I didn't want to hurt your feelings.
Thank you,
at the
Mr.
time. I
Thank
didn't
you.
want to throw you off.
Thank you, Mr. Henderson. Thank you, Mr.
You know,
Henderson.
because the guy
You can
babysat
dip
me
that
when
down.
I was little.
You can dip
he
that
thinks
down.
he can say stuff
you
to me
go.
on the radio.
I know
He's
it.
got no right to say anything to me on the radio.
No,
Yeah, he does.
I asked him
tell him to
actually.
keep it to his side.
I asked him about you. I said, you said something about sandwiches.
Yeah.
Or something. I can't remember what he. I don't know what he didn't say anything. Last week was the 40th anniversary, or the reunion
Yes.
for Auburn High School class of '72, which reminds me of some of the stuff I was wanting to talk about. I haven't actually. We're going to go out to eat after this, and I'm going to get the story on the reunion. But
Wait,
That-
when you say we're going out to eat, you mean the three of us?
yeah, we're all going to go out.
Because I didn't.
Dad's going to take us.
I
all
didn't
out.
get that. Well, thank you, Mr. Henderson. I didn't get that memo.
I didn't either.
Would y'all go out to eat with me? I mean, come on.
Are you buying? Is
I
Dad
think it's
buying?
more the visual presence.
Well, sure. I would be seen with you in public.
Dutch?
Sure. Dutch.
I mean,
Absolutely.
I'll buy the
Absolutely.
I'll buy the apps and desserts.
the apps and desserts. If we go to the
Right.
the arches.
Yeah. But yeah, Dad. Yeah. So that was tonight. On we're gonna start. Thank you for calling, Dad, because it reminded me.
Yes.
Kind of a series. We're not going to focus every episode on this, but this is going to be the first of because it is
An installment.
because it is the 40th year, not just of my dad graduating high school, as amazing as that is,
Right.
but it was a big deal, I think, that he made it. It was a huge thing, but it's going to be the
1970
that was a big year for Auburn.
72 was a big year.
It was an amazing
Yeah, it was.
year.
Yeah, it was.
You know what I'm saying?
Shug's favorite team.
You know what I'm saying? Right, exactly. So then there's a lot of work. There's a lot to work
Bama
with there. So this is going to be. So each week I'm going to try to, little known secrets, aspects, mysteries of that year.
I kind of like that, Jeremy. That's
There's
a
a
good
lot-
subject matter.
Yeah, and
like
so
that.
I've got a good one for this week. I mean, it's a weird one, but it's one that I don't think anybody knows.
Well, you know what, Jeremy? Every week you bring something abnormal.
Right.
That's why we have you on the show.
And I've got a lot of good content.
Yes.
I mean, here's my gar. There we go.
You got your gar.
Your gar. Cigar. All right.
If you let that in here, what would happen, Rich?
First of all, an alarm would go off quickly, and then
Is that is like the FCC? Is that against the rule?
no, no, it's against.
Can they hear it?
It's the corner office. I think that we have to worry about.
Secondhand audio.
Oh, that's a great. I like that secondhand audio.
Hashtag
Oh, hey, we need to
T-shirts.
use that secondhand audio.
Big Daddy. No, Go Daddy.
No, not.
No.
I like the hashtag the secondhand audio. I like that. All right, so what do we got today? Talk to me about what today
Well,
is.
we'll go ahead and just kick into this.
Okay.
Into this. I don't know what I'll call it. It'll be something good.
Okay.
Amazing punt, or I don't know, talk. Jeremy talk. I don't know. Something like
Something
that.
to do with amazing.
Something good, right?
Okay.
But yeah. So 72, 40 years and everything, and one of the big things, especially surrounding that game, one of the kind of the talking points, trivia kind of
Okay.
thing about the
Yeah.
72 Iron Bowl.
Right,
Punt
that's
Bama
what we're
punt,
talking. That's the punt Bama punt
is
game.
is Bear Bryant's jab.
Cal College.
There you go.
Oh boy.
All right.
Oh boy.
Which is personal to me. My wife only came to Auburn because her father was a cattle farmer.
There's nothing that's honorable.
Absolutely. Not to Bear, though.
Not to Bear. Well, but there's a story behind it that not a lot of folks have heard.
Really?
I don't think.
I'd like to hear it.
All right. And it kind of puts it in a new light. Cal College. I mean, that was a that wasn't Bear didn't coin that term
Okay.
expression.
It had been
he
used
said
before.
it publicly.
He said it publicly at it was something, some sort of Birmingham quarterback.
It wasn't
club.
meant as a compliment.
No, it was not. But here, so years and years ago.
I'm proud of the agricultural heritage of Auburn, Jeremy.
And we
I
should
just
be.
want you to
No,
know that.
I am. Yeah.
Are you proud of it?
I am very proud of it.
Your grandfather served in that part of Auburn.
Extension.
You got it.
Extension. I'm raising my hand,
Yes.
my
Yes.
fist right now.
Yes.
in solidarity.
And so yeah, no.
Yes.
No, yeah, Big A. He invented the soybean. Granddaddy did. A lot of people
Really?
don't know that.
Really?
He invented it.
All right. Okay. I double take just for a second there, and then I came back down.
He was a big. Yeah.
Then I came back down.
He was a big soybean man.
Okay.
Invented it.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
He didn't invent the soybean.
Slow
just
food
the
movement.
just the puree.
Right.
Just the soybean milk.
But as a liberal arts philosophy man, I do take there is some an added depth of pride to the fact that the school started off like it's some
Yeah.
sort of seminary learning Latin and
Absolutely.
classics and
Yes.
whatever.
Classical
So
education.
it's a do
Yes.
it's a best of both worlds kind of deal.
Absolutely.
Anyway, so okay, let's get to this thing. So Auburn's president at the time,
Philpott.
Philpott.
Okay.
Okay,
Harry.
Dr. Harry Philpott, gave
And
an oral
then-
history.
An unfortunate name, by the way. I'm just gonna
Harry Philpott.
Harry Philpott. I'm sorry. That's it. If you can make that's like naming your boy Sue. Okay, I'm sorry. You go through life with the name of Harry Philpott.
I've always
you
liked
get-
that name, Philpott.
You get tough in a hurry. That's all I'm saying.
I liked it. He, that portrait of him in the library. They don't have it up anymore, but it was the spitting image of Kevin Spacey.
He
Did
was
you ever
bald,
notice
too,
that?
wasn't he?
Not bald.
But he was
I mean, he was
balding.
thinning.
Yes.
He's not.
Like Rich.
I mean, he's not. He's not
didn't
that
want to say
level.
it out loud.
Right. But no, he was refined. He was distinguished.
Sure.
He smoked a pipe. By God.
Well, then you know he
lot.
was.
No,
he
yeah.
smoked a lot.
Philpott. He
was.
where'd he go to school?
He was just toking on that pipe all the time.
Virginia.
Is
Somewhere.
it time for our first break?
No.
It is.
Oh my gosh.
Wait, Jeremy,
All
did
right.
you get anything with
I
substance in this?
set it up.
this
That's the
segment?
best I could do these days.
But that's what we
Is
need to
even-
do in the first segment. We just all we're doing is we're reconnecting.
Let people warm up.
We're reconnecting,
Right.
and then we set it up, and that's what we've done. 1972. This is what we're talking about.
Harry Philpott.
The Cow College.
College.
Yep. More of the drive, and it's pronounced Jordan when we come back. Down, Bessie. Welcome back into the drive. It's pronounced Jordan, our wildly popular segment. All right, so give you a little peek behind the curtain here.
Huh.
All right, Jeremy. I can pull audio off of the things that you send me. It's best to do that, say before 4 o'clock.
Before 4.
That's because that's when the show starts.
That's when I wake up.
I understand.
On Thursdays.
I understand. So maybe on Wednesday night, if you
Okay.
could send it to
All
me.
right.
Because I'm sitting here and it's like, can you pull this audio? Oh, okay. So I've got to set it up remotely, but I can only do it from my desktop physically. So I have to set it up remotely here in the studio, and then during the break, sprint upstairs, record
Oh,
it.
is that what it was?
And then,
Oh,
yeah,
geez.
that's
Is that
why
what you
I
were
was,
doing?
Yeah, that's
Oh.
why I just made it
I just
back
thought you were in
in
the
as
bathroom or something. I was like,
that's code.
take care of that before 4 o'clock.
Yeah, 'cause I take care of that before 4 o'clock as well. And actually, now that you mention it, thanks for bringing up a sore subject. The time that I would normally be taking care of that, I was recording your.
man.
So
good.
now I'm drinking all this water, and don't play any
All right.
music sound
Lesson
effect.
learned.
Any-
Move on.
All right.
I gotta pee.
We've got it. I'll be better. Okay, let's see. All right, so back to this
Okay,
thing. All right, so
1972.
Philpott, like 30 years ago or something, there's this oral history
Okay.
with Dr. Philpott.
Okay.
Right? And he's talking, and somehow the punt game comes up. And he's like 70-something at the time. He passed away a few years back. And anyway, so somehow they're talking about it. And Philpott was actually kind of palsy with Paul Bear Bryant. They
they're
were like
buddy
Lake
buddy?
Martin house neighbors. Like they had like houses like near each other and everything, right?
Really?
So he said, I had a very friendly kind of relationship.
Brian had a house at Lake Martin.
Apparently, like his wife actually helped the Philpotts decorate the house that they got when they.
That's a
came
bit of a
there.
drive from Tuscaloosa just to go to the lake.
Keep your enemies closer, my man. You know what I'm saying?
We've already had our Godfather discussion in hour number 1.
Nice.
By the way, Godfather 3, 1990. Just throwing that out there. We got the date down. All right, so back to 1972. All right, so I'm just catching you up.
Right, all right.
That was basically the first hour.
Yes.
Now you're caught up.
And then there's something their daughters were pal. I don't know, something
All
like
right,
that.
so they
Anyway.
were buddy. They were friendly. They were cordial.
Right. So this is straight from Dr. Philpott's oral history.
Okay,
Right.
so
Which
straight
this is-
from the Philpott's mouth.
Exactly.
Okay.
The Philpott calling the bear
Oh, Harry.
Harry.
I don't know what that means.
That was good. That's good.
Thank you.
But when Bear Bryant made, you all right, Ryan? I told him last week that we needed like some sub tech, like some to give a feel
I don't
for
know
what was
if he's,
going
is he
on
gonna.
here.
Do you need the trash can, Ron?
Because I get all
It looks like
proud
he's
when
getting
he
ready to
laughs.
throw up.
When he laughs.
I think he's getting ready to throw up.
But it doesn't translate to the audience.
Wow.
All right.
Deep breaths. Deep breaths.
When Bear Bryant made his statement about Auburn being a cow college, he had been to a cattlemen's association meeting that I spoke at in Tuscaloosa and heard me say that.
So Harry
So
Philpott.
Bryant
Philpott's taking up for him.
Philpott was at a cattlemen's association
And
dinner
called Auburn
in
a cow
Tuscaloosa
college.
and probably made some self-deprecating joke. Because once again, it wasn't,
Right.
that said something, like, oh, we called a cow college or something. Anyway.
You're letting Bear off the hook.
No,
What
I'm
you're
not.
doing,
No,
Jeremy.
I'm not. Listen to this.
Jeremy, that's not what this show's
show
about.
killer. Come on now. Here we go.
Show killer. Nice.
Yeah. He asked me here on the field before the game that year. We were just chatting, and he said, "How is it that you can say Auburn is a cow college, but when I say it, I get taken to the cleaners all over everywhere?" I said, "That's because I belong and you don't, Bear."
Well, exactly.
It's not that great of a story, but
No,
it
it
gives
is
a
a
little
good-
background
it
of this
does
whole
give it a
thing because this is a
backstory.
big deal. I'm talking
Yeah.
any kind of major thing on the rivalry. ESPN does their annual thing. Yeah, load me up. There we go. I knew something was missing. Every big thing. Thank you. Good God.
All right, so all right, he's loaded. All right, so all right now, so
Tamale time.
now if we had lone nut jobs at Auburn, which we don't, but if we had lone nut jobs, they would have used this whole Bear Bryant Cal College thing as an excuse to do horrible things to the campus at Tuscaloosa,
Like kill trees.
Like kill trees.
Right.
But we don't have lone nut jobs
Right.
or bizarre fan bases.
Right. So yeah, so this, it's he said it, it was a jab regardless, but at the same time it gives a little, I don't know, he's probably just trying to, he's probably a lie.
Wow.
Whatever. This is probably he probably made that up. Anyway, but at the
That's
same
a
time,
big statement you just made, Jeremy.
yeah, it is. Bring it on. I don't have any trees in my yard.
By the way, for those who have not heard it,
God, I do. Please.
for those who have not heard it, the New York ad agency put together a nice little promo for Jeremy.
I'm your obnoxious coworker. I once watched a Bama game and bought a Bear Bryant t-shirt at Walmart. Those two things alone make me the most insufferable Bama fan on the planet. And I just moved into the next cubicle. And if you read all those other websites and listen to all those other shows, you may not be able to rebut my claim to 39 national championships. That's why you need Jeremy Henderson and the WarEagleReader.com, and it's pronounced Jordan on the drive, to save yourself from Bama fans like me.
People do need me.
They do. They do.
They do.
Well,
so that's a little something.
I do. Anyway.
That's going to be, that's the first for just a little, background stuff. No, folks here, Bear trying to get out of the culpability of,
right, basically trying to weasel out of the fact
feeling
that,
guilty.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. All right, now what is this thing that you sent me?
All right, yeah, this is, this is kind of a grab bag today.
Okay.
We're going potluck, but this is a same
okay.
era.
Sure.
Once again,
You want to set it up?
my man Alan, we'll call him that. He sent me some stuff, and again, like I said, it's kind of embarrassing getting your own history
From a Tennessee
from
grad.
a Tennessee man being sent to you, but at the same time, it's so great. You just don't care. You don't think about that.
Wow.
Until afterward. But there's been a lot of stuff lately. We had something on the site several years back, a couple months back about the history of Jordan Hare,
Felt
the
like
stadium,
years. Yeah.
and everything,
Yeah.
right? And in the different developments and everything. And
Yeah.
of course, one of our big things, was in '73, Shug, it's named after Shug, the first. What is it? Active coach, in the country to have his home, his stadium named after him and everything. And so people point to it, and we had, a picture up of the, the program.
Right.
Shug's looking all dapper and everything on
Right.
the cover, bow tie and whatnot. Anyway, well, now we have some actual footage of the dedication. Wallace, as in Governor George,
yeah.
speaking
in the wheelchair.
and then we have Shug's glorious voice. We have him accepting the honor, thanking the family. We have his incredible accent, the drawl, and
It really is. It really is amazing.
it's a Shugasm is what this thing is. That's what I'm calling. I think we can say that on the air. I coined that expression. I coined that today. It's straight up. This will change your life.
Let's just listen to it.
As chairman of the Board of Trustees of Auburn University and as governor of Alabama, it is my pleasure to announce that henceforth this stadium shall be known as the Jordan Hare Stadium. So as governor, I speak for all of those present here today in Alabama, and we wish you many more active years of service to this great university and to the young people who attend it. So we love you, Shug. God bless you, and War Eagle.
This is homecoming, October 6, 1973. So here's Step Shug at a white coat.
Oh, I'm very proud today. I'm highly honored today I'm deeply grateful and appreciative today.
You got to love this.
How to get a college president and a governor and a head football coach president with 10 minutes of time allotted is an impossible situation. But I do want to tell you that there's so many people that down through the years have meant so much to me and are responsible for me standing here today. I'm grateful. I thank my family. And I want to say this. I knew Fessa Hare. I used to have to take my eligibility blank over for his signature. I love the man as his family did. I wish he was here today. But I spent many an afternoon talking with him, so I want you to know that the Jordan part of the stadium is real proud to have my name up there with such a great person as Fessa Hare. I've run out of time. I could talk a long time and thank many people, but time does not permit. So thank you all, and I will forever be very grateful. Thank you very much.
Wow. Wow.
I'm telling you, Henderson, that's bringing it right there.
I know.
You brought your A game.
You're welcome. Nobody's heard that. That's not out there right now.
That's exclusive.
Oh, yeah.
Exclusive on the drive, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, sir.
Fessa.
Wow.
Fessa. You know, and he, in Cliff Hare, you know, he went, you know, he had this thing like Fessa, like was his, you know, it wasn't just Shug doing his, you know, I'm going to say it this way, but at the same time, you know, he said, you know, that was a thing, like in the glom, you'd see it, you know, spelled that way and everything. At the same time, you know, Shug's, you know, says it like no one can. And then
Fessa.
you know, today, and then like wow, God, what was
he
it?
said
what
today
was that?
To have
I know. I mean, it's just amazing. You're like
the Jordan part of the stadium is honored.
That's very good, Rich.
To be up there with the hair part of the stadium.
I mean,
can I tell you, this is a lot like my grandmother's.
Right.
My grandmother's accent. My
Yeah,
grandfather was from Illinois and Texas, so he didn't have that. But my grandmother, Tennessee and Alabama, and that's what she did. She had that. You know, let's make bed a 3-syllable word.
Yeah.
You know, it's a bed.
It's
and that's when I hear. It's so interesting when you hear that style of speech because you just don't hear it anymore.
Right.
It's very rare to hear that.
My
Even
grandfather, Charles, like you know, they talk like that, and he, you know, like he'll say, my grandfather will say, "Judge," it's Judge, and he goes like, "And coach is not. It's coach is coach." It's like two. It's like three coach. It's like 2 syllables. So it's amazing.
That's amazing. I don't know that I've ever heard that much of
Sugar. Yeah, it takes me back to the first time I ever heard his voice walking into the Rosenblatt, you know, the museum.
Yeah.
And they were playing that clip. You know, halfbacks run like a wild man, and I never heard it. I dropped to my knees. I kid you not. Rosenblatt can attest. I cried.
I believe you.
The first time I heard the man's voice. That's like a friggin' baptism right there.
I'm telling you, it really is. More the drive after this. Welcome back into the drive. It is 5:34. It's pronounced Jordan.
We've really just had one of our more spiritual moments.
It really has been. Hearing Shug Jordan.
I still hear him.
Yes. It's as if you were hearing Abraham Lincoln speak live to you, hearing Abraham Lincoln's voice. It's as if one of our founding fathers, Benjamin Franklin or George Washington himself, speaking and hearing. It's as if St. Peter were actually speaking.
What do you think, Jeremy?
It's
pretty heavy stuff.
Yeah, it is heavy. I'm imagining it.
Rich got a lot done during that minute and a half break.
It's as if the Apostle Paul were.
No, it's Paul. That's who it is.
We're actually reading aloud his epistle to the Corinthians.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it is that.
Wow. It's better. Professor Hare.
Oh, Father Bill.
I know Professor Hare.
Oh.
And that's what's so awesome is like Shug, you know what I mean? Like the connection, you know, like Shug.
I went and hung out.
Professor Hare spanked me several times. You know, like, well, you know, with the ruler, you know.
Right.
You know.
Sure.
You know, like a scholastic setting.
I understand.
With full authority
yes.
of the dispensation.
Get off the road, Jim.
Yeah. All right, so, listen, here's the thing. Most Auburn fans that are say my age and younger, they knew who Shug Jordan is because his name is on the stadium and they drive on a street that's got his name on it. And okay, he was this great coach back then. Mm-hmm. Don't really know a whole lot about him, A. And B, almost nobody has ever heard him speak.
No, I know. And that's what's such a shame. And like, I'm so pumped about getting this stuff on there and so thankful to, we'll call him Alan, that this stuff, because I mean, you get on YouTube and you know, search Bear Bryant show, and I mean, the man, you know, eating enough potato chips videos on there to kill a cow.
It's prolific.
I mean, there's tons. You know, there's tons of it. There's tons of them everywhere.
Yes.
And I mean, as a Bama, I mean, I'm frankly jealous. I'm not gonna lie. You know that he's documented so well and everything. I mean, there's you know whole Bear Bryant shows you know you can watch, and there's some great one. I found some good Auburn stuff. There's some. You know that during the for the reviews for the Auburn game and everything.
Yeah,
and there's tons of them. But the great thing that I do love about those shows is that it was never the Shug Jordan show or the Pat Dye show.
Auburn football review.
That's right.
I like that.
We don't worship our coaches at all.
Exactly.
I like that.
We love our university.
The coaches worship us. You know what I'm saying?
By the way, I ran into speaking of coaches, I ran into Coach next door.
Oh, again?
Working out yesterday.
Did you snap another one of your
No, we
shots?
we just chat a little bit. He asked me what I thought of Frazier. So that's
What'd you say?
What'd you say? Thumbs up, thumbs down.
What did he say? Describe everything.
Look, I don't want to
facial expressions.
It was a private conversation. It's a private conversation.
I mean, what apparatus was he on at the time? That'll say a lot.
Private.
Well, he utilizes
a Nautilus man. Is
he utilizes both the treadmill and the elliptical. He also does some resistance training. So yeah, we didn't actually speak. I saw him in the gym. Nobody speaks to him. Everybody gives him his privacy and lets him do what he's there to do, which is
how much can he bench? Do we know?
I don't know.
He was
not on. He was.
It's called stalking, isn't it?
Yeah, basically. Listen, all I know is that when security threw me out, it appeared. No, he's it is one of the things that I love about this town is that people. It's Coach.
Hey, right.
There's Coach. He's here to do something. We're going to let him do it.
Right after you got here, it's late Friday night. I'm hankering for like the Gilmore Girls, right? So I go out to Hastings, season 1. They had it used, right? It's a good show. It's a good show.
It's a good.
Of course it is.
It's a good show. Anyway, so
it was a show.
I go out there.
Me too. Wow, you can get that at Hastings?
Yeah.
Wow.
Just ask for the.
I'm shopping in the wrong aisle.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
So I'm there and I get in line and I'm looking up and I'm grabbing my wallet and everything and I see this kid come up doing like, "Hey, Dad, look, they've got The Express, that show or movie."
Yeah.
Ernie Davis.
Right. And oh, okay, great, son. Yeah, we might have to get that. I look up, it's Chiz.
Cool.
Chiz and Callie.
Cool.
So I'm sitting there, and I've got to do my requisite. Dad, thank you what you've done for Auburn, Coach. What you do for Auburn. Well, but this is before any of the good stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah. There's a lot of bad stuff. This is the good stuff.
Was this kind of an investment?
Right, kind of a thing. So I'm saying I'm behind him, and but of course at the same time, you got your phone and like on Twitter. Oh my God, could I make my career right now? What's going on? You know what I mean? All these things. What am I going to say? And so we're in line, and the dude behind the counter, he goes like to check out a movie or something. He's like, "I'm going to need your ID," and I'm just I haven't said anything at this point. I'm just standing there, and I said, finally, was like, you really need to see his ID? Like, you really? And the kid apparently, probably some, college girl's boyfriend who moved here for the summer or something from somewhere. He actually, he probably thought I was a total jerk because I come to find out he really had no idea like who it was.
That's funny.
And I'm just sitting there, and I was like, "You really?" And the guy just kind of laughs, like looks at me, and Chiz just kind of like, and I do my, thanks for what you're doing for Auburn, coach. And then finally he got like a War Eagle coach, on the way out and everything. But it wasn't a huge deal.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. There's nothing worse than when you see an icon, especially an Auburn icon, and you can't think of anything. You want to think of something original, and you realize that in their career they've had a gazillion fans greet them and say hi, and so you want to come up with something, like I don't know what.
So many people have just come up to me and just been blank.
Sure,
you know what I mean. Can't think of anything to say to me.
I know.
I try to help them along.
I get that a lot.
I say it's okay.
I get that a lot.
Sign whatever they want me to sign.
Yeah. Sometimes it's just a high five and you move on.
Mm-hmm.
A hug occasionally, just a man hug, a Roger Goodell hug. Kind of a big, double
Those
fist.
Are strong, man.
They are strong man hugs.
I go to the Lord in prayer with some of them.
And there's nothing.
Whatever the occasion calls.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
Are you Jeremy with the War? Would you pray with me? Happens if I had a dime, What
and
am I
you
saying?
do
This
one.
Is ridiculous.
All right.
How the tamales do?
I have no idea where that.
Obviously, they're
How
pretty
did we
potent
get
today.
there? How in the world did we get? All right, you've got a book that says "girls" on the front. So obviously, I'm intrigued.
Yeah, it's a book called "Where the Girls Are," a very special social guide to college women in the USA, or the academic truth about curfews, hangouts, and driving time.
What? This is like the photos
I
guide.
carry this everywhere.
How to pick up chicks when you're in college.
Co-ed, right. Published in
year?
1965, revised in 67 by the staff of the Daily Princetonian, Princeton's student newspaper and everything. And
this is a legit book, folks.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Now, Princeton's the place that ranks all the party schools, right? Princeton Review.
I guess. Is that
Yeah,
them?
yeah.
Is it that Princeton?
They've been doing it for a while.
Long time.
Really?
No, it's the other Princeton. It's
didn't
Princeton Junior College. It's yes, it's
They'd
that
be involved
Princeton.
in something so juvenile.
It's Princeton. They've got all kinds of time on their hands.
Apparently.
They don't have to work.
But this is one of our posts. Something the entry, and here's some content in this.
Okay.
Is one of our current posts and everything, and it was a little bit timely. Last week, you may or may not have known, but on MTV.
Oh, I saw that. Ugh.
There was this show.
It's horrible.
It's called Savage University, and it's this.
It's horrible.
Notoriously
Base,
quote unquote sex therapist, not therapist, advice columnist.
Yeah.
Anyway, and so they had a thing where these go around to different colleges and have sessions and everything. They came to Auburn, and probably for a large portion of the Auburn family, they're still trying to recover.
I think so.
If anybody who saw this, but essentially, it's
Did they have an audience at Auburn?
Yeah.
They held like a Q&A, like with students and everything. I think it was actually on like campus. It was in something.
It was. I couldn't tell if it was in a classroom or if
like
it
a
was
hotel
or if it
thing
was
or
in one of the meeting rooms at the hotel and conference center or something. But there was like a low stage,
right,
and there were some people. There was
how many people were there?
I don't know, maybe 100.
100 people. But then they go around with prearranged little meetings, like, oh, let's go meet Brian in the concourse, or the right. Anyway, so it's pretty explicit. It's some explicit
Kind
stuff.
of a low point in Auburn history.
Yeah. But ostensibly, it was
fortunately nobody watches.
It was supposed to be.
I
think it came on like at 11 at night anyway. But it was supposed to be like a date. an expose on Auburn's dating scene. Dating, quote unquote. Right. So anyway, this was one. This at least in spirit, this was has been going on for a while, and kind of like college humor publications and everything. Yes. And so there's this book, and it came out in '67, and so I decided, I was like, let's take a look at the Auburn entry,
and we're going to do that when we come back.
When we come back,
we're going to look at the Auburn.
I'll
entry.
set it up a little better.
That's it. No, that's a good setup. There's nothing wrong with that setup.
Right. It's a, let's see, they're all here from coast to coast, campus to campus, categorized, analyzed, and pre-tested for easy snowing. Like
snowing.
I don't think that's like a, I was hoping y'all could help me out. Like, is that like ski, is that an expression?
I don't think that has
like
anything to do with it.
Well, I mean like the slopes.
We'll be right back. Welcome back to The Drive. Rich and Ron, joined by Jeremy Henderson from the WarEagleReader.com. It's pronounced Jordan. All right. We're talking about the name of this book is...
Yeah, Where the Girls Are.
Where the Girls Are.
And it's, the greatest, most complete guide to academic female fauna ever published.
Wow.
And this is Auburn's entry.
Wow. Okay, let's hear Auburn's.
And so, not everybody, wrote, and they
published what year?
65.
65?
And then this was, I'm assuming this is the revised 67 version. Okay. And, and it lists on the ones that actually submitted and responded to their survey, the rules and hours for each, thing and everything.
Okay.
And it's not, it's not MTV level and everything. But at the same time, whatever.
Okay.
So.
And what it said was that Auburn had the most upright, honorable, decent, ethical, moral,
and pretty.
And beautiful.
Get thee to an Auburnery.
Exactly. Exactly.
An Auburnery.
Get ye to Funchess Hall.
Right.
Or whatever.
Right.
I don't know what
Right.
the women's dorms are.
It wasn't Funchess.
It wasn't?
Animal sciences.
Oh. That could work too.
Oh. Yeah, hit something. All right.
Okay.
Auburn University.
This didn't start well.
It started
Hey,
perfect.
Rich. Hey,
all right.
That's a show killer
That,
right there.
Yeah, that is a show killer, Rich.
I'm just picking up Ron's slack. That's all right. Okay.
One of the most exciting events on the Auburn campus each year is the annual freshman cake race, in which the current crop of fuzzy-cheeked uninitiates chases the speeding car of that loveliest of cheesecakes, Miss Auburn. The winner receives a kiss from the glowing miss and, even better, a cake. In his 3 remaining years at Auburn, he may eat many more cakes, but the kiss could be his last. For the men outnumber the women 4-1. 3,500 co-eds. And of the latter group, 1/3 are married before graduation and 1/2 are already dating steady. Because Auburn women are predominantly good-looking, even the leftovers are tasty.
Wow! 1965.
Tasty apples.
Man.
But again, that freshman could still be thwarted in his efforts to make the scene. Almost all Auburn social affairs are organized populist functions, quote unquote, and college rules hold that no tiger date can drink at any time in any place. Age did not matter, by the way. If you were, you could be like 50 years old and going back to school. If Cater caught you drinking,
you were out of there.
Outsies.
Really?
Dunsies. Nor will she want to, since most Auburn women, in contrast to the University of Alabama women, boast a Southern Puritan upbringing more suitable for church than party attendance.
Ooh, that's what I like to hear.
Uh-huh.
Honorable.
Preach it. Preach it.
Beautiful and honorable.
Right. As opposed to
that
Bama.
other.
As
that
opposed to
other,
Crimson.
As opposed to that other school that's much more like the Florida schools, by the way.
Amen, right. A date at Auburn generally centers around an athletic event. The Georgia Tech football game is the wildest, and moves quickly to a drive-in fraternity party or formal dance. There is no specific student hangout. Somehow tigers and their drawling dates find their way to various eating spots in town, there to succumb to the strains and stresses of the ubiquitous jukebox. Far and away the most popular of campus activities is the fraternity party, where co-eds can dance the night away without fear of suffering the awful fate of Miss Auburn on cake race day. But what is most disturbing about Auburn is the fact that out of 12,500 students, no one is dissatisfied with its social life, conventional and inaccessible as it may be. Perhaps this is because Auburn is best known for its raucous school spirit, a holdover from high school that is taken very seriously by undergraduates, and a warm reality that serves many as a substitute for a cold date.
Wow.
we may not have a keep me warm at night.
Man, this is some backhanded. This is some backhanded stabs right here.
Right. Well, they're trying to be all.
But you know what? I'm proud of all of it. I'm proud of all of it.
Oh, wait a minute. I just got in trouble for making a.
Oh, Lord.
I just got in trouble for making a Florida comment.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
By
who?
Facts is facts.
By a good friend within the department.
Oh, really?
I'll bring.
And let me just clarify. He
didn't associate Alabama with Florida.
No. About the Florida women,
the loose
and the Florida schools used to be known as more party schools, and so people in Florida very often would send their kids to Auburn because they didn't want their daughters going to party schools. That was then. I was making a joke. JK, easy.
It's not now?
No.
You said that the other day.
Now you're just trying to get me in trouble. That's a lie. That is a lie.
Short.
Okay.
Miss Auburn's thank you kindly gesture is representative of a campus-wide social malaise. It is cold, clammy, probably misplaced, and a once-in-a-lifetime proposition at that.
Wow.
Anyway, and so then it goes on to list the the rules and hours, which were pretty much from what I can tell, like the strictest in like the whole book outside for like public schools and everything. It's like you even like over 21, like even if you were like 23, 24, you still had special permission to like live off of campus then.
If you were a girl.
Right, if you were a girl. Like girls over 23 or with special permission from the Dean of Women may live off campus. Over 23,
Wow.
for God's sake.
Wow.
Can you imagine?
And what's crazy is a lot of women by that time in this area were already married and had a couple of kids.
I know.
My mom was.
You still had to get like you're like, can I please live with my Can we please start a family?
The Bible says it's okay.
It's okay.
Yes, but the Dean of Women has not endorsed it yet.
Cater, man.
Man, let me tell you.
Cater and Foy ran this place.
Cater. You wouldn't believe the stories about Cater I've got.
Well, we'll have to make that up. That could be a whole host of shows.
Could it ever?
Have you found her family?
Yes.
Have you?
Yes, I have.
I bet they found you, didn't they?
I've interviewed her nephew.
Yeah.
Yeah, nephew. Never married, Cater. Married to the work.
Well, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It was a lot of it.
Yep.
Kept her busy.
Yep.
I mean, with all those rules. Come on.
She was amazing. She was fascinating, actually. She's like my favorite person. She's like my favorite Auburn person.
Really?
People hate her and all these like horror stories and everything, but she was a complex woman. I've got the letters and everything, and she was really cute when she got here.
Jeremy,
I'm not gonna lie.
She was cute when she got here. And then,
Check her out, man.
And then Auburn just beat her down.
And check her out. I'm just saying, in her young days.
Right. This is kind of like.
Is that a compliment?
It's kind of it's kind of like when you know somebody and you grow up with somebody, or maybe you are introduced to somebody in their later years.
Right.
Like my image of my grandmother is a gray hair and older and in her 70s. But then you go back and you look at some of these pictures when she's in her 20s, and you see what Granddad was thinking. You're like, oh, okay, I get it now.
Crack against gray hair.
No. Yes, Ron.
Yeah, it is. It totally is. I can't even remember what you look like.
We're gonna get those pictures though of Ron on the cover of something with a megaphone.
I'm gonna bring it. I'm gonna find. We're gonna get on eBay right now. I've got my computer. We're gonna find that thing.
I want to find some audio.
It doesn't exist.
I want to find audio of Ron leading a cheer. It's out there somewhere.
It doesn't exist.
Somebody's-
Alan in Tennessee doesn't have it. I bet.
Somebody's got it. Somebody's got it.
Yes, Alan.
And
please.
I want to hear it. I want to hear it. All right, that's going to do it for today's show. Wow. I tell you, it's always the stuff that happens off mic that's the best. And someday we'll have to draw back the curtain. But I got to tell you,
I could Skype. I could do a Ustream from this thing. No, bad idea.
I think that's a horrible idea. The three of us all have a face for radio. Well, let's see. We've heard Shug Jordan. We've figured out that Auburn has the best women around, and that Ron Anders one time had flowing hair a la Coach Van Gorder. And I can't wait to see that program.
Oh, I'm going to, yeah.
Oh, wow. That's going to do it for the show today.
I'm thinking a billboard.
Awesome. Have a great night, everybody. We'll talk to you tomorrow right here on The Drive.